What's up, everyone? I'm Ben Amoa, and you're listening to the Auricle Podcast, where your stories matter. All right, welcome back to another episode of The Auricle. I'm your host, Ben Amoa. Just a big shout out to my mom. She came out to visit all the way from Ottawa to British Columbia before she heads out to New Zealand to see my brother. She's retired now, and so she's living her best life traveling the world. So big shout out to Ma Dukes. Thanks for coming to visit me. Let me just talk to you guys about the episode. We have a very special guest, Trenton Jackson. He is the designer, the CEO of an amazing, really dope company called Jesus Loves You Co. And it's a clothing brand, and that's just it. The whole message behind it is that Jesus loves you. And if you want to check out their website, just check out Jesus Loves You Co. or just search up Jesus Loves You Co. on Instagram. Such dope gear. I just got myself 3 tees, a cap, and it's just it's such an inspiring message. And I think it's one of the key aspects, like just having gear, but dope gear, like stuff that actually looks like really sick to wear, that represents like our Christianity. That's just one of the key ways to bring God back to culture. And I think that's something we always got to be trying to work on. And so big shout outs to Trenton. I'm just so excited. I'm honored that I got to interview him because I've been just checking out his brand for so long, and he made time just to chop it up. And I know this episode is going to sound a little choppy because of Skype, and I'm working on a way to figure out how to do interviews long distance in a clearer way, because a lot of people I want to interview and people who are making time for me, but it's tough to be able to do from so far away and still have the clarity. So let me just let's just focus on this episode. To stay tuned, you're gonna love this episode. So much wisdom, inspiration for creators, and just a big insight on how important it is for us to focus on our relationship with Christ. So, I'm done talking. Enjoy the show.
My name is Trenton Jackson. I go by Trent. And I live in the best city in the world, which is Atlanta, Georgia. And me and my wife live here. And I am basically everything Jesus loves you. So the CEO, owner, creator, designer. I carry a lot of hats in that, but ultimately I would just call myself like the creator of Jesus Loves You.
All right, so let's just start with that, bro. What is Jesus Loves You? How did it start? Like, what is that?
Yeah, bro. So real quick, if we have like any signal problems between us, should I just like tell you that's what's going on or what?
Yeah. Just let me know, and we'll just make it
Okay.
work. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, what is Jesus Loves You? How did it start? Like, yeah, tell me about that company.
Yeah, bro. Absolutely. So, um, I was living in Atlanta, and I got asked to attend this fashion mixer. It was basically just different people in the fashion industry, not necessarily Christian, but there was a faith-based, or known as a faith-based brand that was there, and they asked me to come out, and so I went out and I was just listening. And one of the questions that was asked was about branding and marketing and how to keep everything on the same page, basically where your branding was, easily recognized. And the dude that was on the panel responded, what is the most Christian, like, cliche that you can think of? And the dude in crowd responded, Jesus loves me. and everybody like started laughing. And like I think I probably even laughed thinking back. I probably laughed, but I got like heated, bro, because I was like, yo, that's crazy. One, I was upset because like that's the like foundation of Christianity. Like we don't have like and understand the love of Jesus, that we have nothing else. And then I was like heated because two, it was true. I was like, that really is, and I don't know what like culture is like in Canada, but here, especially in like the Bible Belt, as they call it, is it's very like this church is everywhere, bro, and like everybody is like thought of as a Christian, you know. So I was like, dang, that's crazy. And then the dude on the panel responded, okay, well, you can't have your company name as Jesus Loves Me Apparel if your website is going to be Jesus Loves You Company. Just talking about like it being on two different like things and not lining up. And I was like, dang, Jesus loves you. I was like, that's the conversation we need to be having. And that's when I felt like the phrase turn the conversation around like dropped in my soul, bro. And I kid you not, bro, I went to the bathroom and I purchased the domain. I built the logo. I got the Instagram handle. And I just sat on it for probably almost a year.
Wow.
And in that time, you know, the idea like really matured and like came to a place where I was like, oh, like this is a conviction. Like I have to put this out. And yeah, bro, that's the story of like.
Bro, could you tell me a little bit more about kind of that year where you sat on it? Like when, like that process of it changing from an idea to a conviction. Like what was that like?
Yeah, bro. So I've always been like an entrepreneurial like person, like since I was little, and like burn CDs off of LimeWire and selling them to people and like just trying to like hustle my way, you know. And so I had this idea of Jesus Loves You, but I knew that I didn't want it just to be like a hustle, because I know too many people in the faith-based apparel world only have that title of faith-based apparel because they know that Christians like supporting stuff and repping stuff about, you know, Jesus or whatever it may be. Um, and so I wanted to make sure that my heart was in a place where um, I didn't feel like I had a message that would sell, but that I felt like I had a message that would change lives. And then whenever that hit, whenever I was like, and it wasn't like this big like revolutionary thing, but um, honestly, bro, it was right after like um, I got married. I told my wife it was literally the same month that I got married, and I was like, hey, I think we should max out all our credit cards and start this company. It's going to be like bomb, and I think we got to do it. And she was like, oh no, I don't know about that. Like it's scary. I'm like, nah, like I know now. I know it's the time, like now, and we have to do it. um, so yeah, dude, it wasn't like a hard waiting period. I wasn't like, oh God, I'm so eager to get this out. It was really more like I had to let that idea mature, because if I would have put it out then, it wouldn't have done as well as it's done that I since the time that I did put it out. Um, because I had to go through like different things and situations and have conversations with different people to realize that okay, this is something like I need to do, not just something that would be cool if I did.
Had to be a conviction. So
Yeah,
how long have you been doing it now? How long has Jesus Loves You been like out there selling and stuff?
bro, we launched February 1st of this year. So
No way.
yeah, bro, this month was 7 months. Next month will be 8 months.
and it's like blown up.
Bro, it's honestly been crazy, and so many people like have that like response to it, and honestly it's very like sobering, because I get like caught up in like the mix of all of it and everything, and like actually making it happen, that I forget like how crazy it is, that it's at the level that it's at. But um to be honest with you, that was my prayer. Like the night that I hit the button to unlock the website, for people to get in, I did that on my knees with um, one of our boxes in one of my hand and a stack of shirts in the other hand. And my prayer was simply, God, I want this to be so big that I'll be a fool to credit myself for it. Like I don't want my branding, I don't want my finesse to be able to open doors for this to be big. I was like, God, I always want to like have to like point it back and being. And my second prayer was, God, I want to sell out in 30 days. Like I want to sell out of everything that we have in our first month. And we sold out in 3 days, bro. Our third day, after our launch, we were completely out of everything except like a couple smalls.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's been wild. It really has been.
That's amazing, bro. Before Jesus loves you. Before the company, um, what was your like upbringing? Like, what were you like? Were you always Christian? Like, where did that come from in your life that it was something that you were even convicted about?
Yeah, it's a good question. So so I grew up in a Christian home, but in a religious Christian home. I didn't grow up in a relational Christian home. Um, and, and that's like a loaded statement, and I think I could break that down some. So, um, like I love so I grew up in the South. When I say the South, bro, I'm talking like I just looked. I was having this conversation with a homie the other day, and he was talking about how small his town was growing up there. We had like I think he said like 22,000 people in his town, and I looked mine up, and it was like population 1,800. Um, so like when I tell you I grew up in the country, bro, like tractors, cows, fields, everything, bro. So um, a lot of what I saw was a very religious, like closed-minded Christianity, um, that says you have to perform God's love. Like it's always a performance-driven um, relation, or it's a performance-driven religion, not a relationship. And I think I got out of that, probably when I went to college. Um, like I was the environment that I was in, bro. I mean, it was very, like I was around people like all the time that like hated gay people and Christians, that like really hated gay people. A lot of people don't know this, but um, we went to a church for a while, that literally preached that black people didn't have souls. And I know that sounds crazy, but in my town, dude, we had segregated proms up until 2013, bro. Like up until 2013, we had a black prom, which was the school sponsored prom, and then the white parents of my town would put on a, a private party, say who could come into it and who couldn't, but that was the prom that everybody went to. So this is the environment that I'm in, but also being apparently a Christian, um, and like always seeing this. I mean, how, like this is the normal for Christians. And whenever I got out of that area and like went into like different parts and started traveling and everything, I was like, wow. I was like, it was really 11th grade. I read Jesus Is by Judah Smith, and it completely changed my mindset on the character of Jesus, and that was really like a big trajectory for my life that like changed like I wanted to do, and I knew that like I just wanted to like dedicate my life to like helping people and loving on people. And so that all led up, bro. And then I got into fashion, and I've always loved fashion, but I got into like really wanting to make stuff that other people were proud to wear. And so that's sort of like the cycle that led up to it, bro. But really, I just, it comes back to like conviction that I had from seeing like, a lot of people say Jesus loves you and Jesus loves you, if like you'll do this, or Jesus loves you as long as you don't listen to this type of music, or, um, you know, and that's why I put a period after our logo. Um, and it seems like super small, but the reason that's there, um, is basically to say that this isn't like a run-on sentence, and there's no ands, ifs, and buts about it. Like Jesus loves you, and if that sits uncomfortable with you, I'm really glad about that, because that means that you've heard something other than that in the past, which means you've heard a lie in the past, which I get to help you see the truth. Um, so that's in a nutshell, bro. I mean, I went to college to be a pastor, bro. Like, I thought that, I was gonna launch a church and do this and everything, but um, when I went to a Christian university, that the image of Jesus was so distorted. It was just like a little tagline that people wanted to put on their captions on Instagram, and in their bio they want to put a cross emoji, and they want people to like think that they're. But then it's like, do you carry his name, or do you carry his heart? Because his name will get you like in cool places, and it'll get you employed, and it'll get you around cool people and influencers and all this stuff. But carrying his heart, that'll have you like on the streets with homeless people. That'll have you taking people out for lunch and just talking to them about their life, and not caring if you're going to benefit anything from it. And so that's been my conviction. It's like, I'm not going to just carry his name. I'm going to make sure that I carry his heart to life here. And that means that it's going to have a lot more effect.
Wow,
I know
that's
that was a
powerful.
lot, bro. I'm sorry.
No, bro, I want more. Like that's amazing. You got me pumped up because like what you're saying is so real. I think people struggle with this balance of kind of repping God and like also like being like a
Yeah.
child, like being like an actual child of Jesus, being like someone who walks with Jesus. It's easier just to kind of have his name part of your organization, to just say you're a Christian, but it's harder to actually commit to walk with Jesus.
Yeah.
And like, I guess another question I have is like, why do you think it's like that? Like, why is it that people have this way that they just want to just say his name, or kind of have this like they say they're Christians but act so hateful and stuff? Like, why is that?
Because it doesn't require any dedication. You can say that you're a bodybuilder all day, and you can even have the weights in the back of your car all the time, and you can drink the shakes and the drinks and everything, the pre-workouts, the post-workouts, and people will think, oh, okay, he's a bodybuilder. But then what do you like? Are you doing any work towards that? Are you putting in the time? Are you going to the gym? Are you doing this and that? And I think that that's like how a lot of Christians view their relationship with Jesus. It's that I'm gonna tell everybody that I'm a Christian. I'm gonna make sure that I post enough pictures with Hillsong captions and with quotes from my favorite pastor. Um, and I'm gonna make sure that I start this blog that's titled after God. That way, I can get some followers. And I think that um, I'm gonna make sure that I have like the Jesus sticker on my vehicle, and I'm gonna make sure that I have like my Bible on my dash. But when it comes down to caring about the people that Jesus truly cared about, how can they help me? How can they promote me? How can, like, bro? It's like we live. It's like almost that it's become like so selfish that if nobody sees me being a Christian, then how is it like important? Like we truly do live in a generation that wants other people to see them so much, um, that if they feel like nobody's looking, they're not gonna do anything. Um, and I just don't think enough people like talk about that. And I don't even blame those people, because a lot of them just haven't had somebody be real with them and explain to them like the heart of Jesus. Because like if you experience the heart of Jesus, bro, like there's no way that you can like go back to like this watered down, um, you know, Instagram Christianity. It's like it's gonna burden you. It's gonna be a conviction on your heart to love the least of these and to let other people know that like they're valued and loved, even if it doesn't benefit you, bro.
Mm. And like what
Does
you
that
said,
does that answer that pretty well?
that does, bro. And I think you said something that I think is very interesting because Instagram Christianity is like a funny sentence. It's a funny phrase because I
Yeah,
think like for so long people put like being social media Christian is kind of weird, like for a long time.
yeah,
But I think now more than ever, like you can be Christian on social media, but then that has made it able for people to be superficially Christian on social media.
yeah. It's a very we live in a God got me era where it's like I can do X, Y, and Z and say that I'm a Christian, but at the end of the day, only God can judge. And like I love Kanye, I love Chance the Rapper, um, I love people in that circle, but they have created this glamorous Christianity that says, I can do everything of the world, um, as long as I carry the title of a Christian. And that's something that even I have to be careful of slipping into, is just because it's like so many people want to see how far, um, like just imagine like it's like a fence that you're straddling. And some people are like trying to see how much of like both sides they can touch with still like, um, like so many people want to see how much of the world that they can like scoop up without dropping Christianity. Um, and it becomes this balancing when it's not supposed to be that. Um, so I that yeah, like a lot of people have gotten this mentality of, only God can judge me and God got me and at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, those statements are true, but if they're being used as a defense mechanism for sin, like that's that's watered down. That's a counterfeit Christianity to me.
Mm, wow. So do
And
you?
I
Sorry, go
don't
ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying I don't like. It's not that like I blame those people at all, because like I said, most of them probably have not seen a true example of what living a Christ like life is like. Because you got to think everybody that were around for the most part, like this generation, a lot of like Christians of this generation saw a very screwed up version of Christianity and Jesus from their parents and grandparents. Um, whether it was a racist view, whether it was a bigotry view, whether it was a closed-minded, religious, like work-based view. So we, generation that is having to show our same generation what it actually looks like to follow Jesus and to like reflect him.
Wow. Wow. And so, do you think that like through something like Jesus Loves You Company, like is that giving people a chance to see Jesus authentically, but also in a modern way? Like, is that necessary for us to kind of modernize Christianity in a way, like to kind of be there? Like, I mean, to try and fill social media with genuine Christianity, to fill the stores with genuine Christianity and stuff like that.
I think I think that we have to, and I think that we have to modernize Christianity is what I'm saying. And I think that the people that have a problem with that are the people that really haven't broken free of a, a religious mindset, honestly. But it's like, you just got to think, bro, with as much stuff as the world is throwing at people in general, bro, not even Christians, but just as much stuff as the world is throwing at us, saying like what we should do, what we should believe in, what we should support, what we should not be behind, who we should vote for, who we should not vote for, what news channel we should watch, what we shouldn't watch. With everything that's going on, bro, like we have to like meet people where they are, because people aren't going to put in effort. Like if you come across somebody that just like hates Jesus, they're not going to put in an effort to care about like you inviting them to church. Like that's no longer like that's awesome, and I'm not trying to discourage people from doing that, but we have to get to a point where we understand, okay, with as much as the world is pulling at our and at our hearts, we have to bring something that is genuine and relational. That's the only way that we somebody's ear in this generation, is if we bring something that is different. And so, bro, yeah, I absolutely think that. Now, do I think that wearing a Jesus Loves You shirt is the same as going up and like, having that conversation with somebody? Absolutely not. And I said that from the beginning, like I never want this just to be like, oh, easy way out. Oh, instead of saying it, I'm just going to wear a shirt that says it, and I'm going to be passive about this. And I've literally said from the very beginning, please don't buy our shirts if your goal through it is to be a passive like evangelist, or just, I know it's such a churchy word, but because it really does have like, you have to have conversations. That's why like our key three are like, I design pieces to start conversations, because I believe that's where relationships starts. So I build pieces that can start conversations that will lead to relationships that will hopefully change eternities. And that's my key three, bro. That's what like I'm focused on. And so yeah, I feel like we do have to modernize it, because we live in a crowded culture, bro. We live in a culture that is always something new all the time. So, if you come to a basketball game, and your sneakers are worn out and they're falling apart, and the bottoms of them are coming off, like you're not going to play as well against everybody else that has good shoes, no matter how good your game is, no matter how good your gospel is. In our situation, if you come with like this old watered down religion, then bro, people have heard it. People distorted it. So you have to come with something new. You have to come with something fresh, and you have to come with something that is relatable.
Wow. Oof. That's really dope. No, that's really dope, and I think many people need to get that. Bro, just in closing, just for our interview and just for the podcast sake, if someone's who's listening to the Oracle right now, and they're wondering about this whole struggle between religion and relationship, and the struggle of moving forward to have not just be Instagram Christians,
Yeah.
what would you tell them? How do they break free of that?
I would say that, oh man, this is tough. So I would say that it differs with every person, but what remains constant is that what is dear to Jesus's heart is having a genuine relationship with you. Like he wants you to reach other people. He truly does. That's our call, is to go out and make disciples. And but he wants your heart for you. And that can only happen if you allow mask of religion, which religion in itself is just honestly an insecurity. And it's like repeating what other people have said because you're scared to step out and really experience and allow an intimate relationship with God to grow, because that's really what it is. It's once that relationship is started, intimacy is allowed to grow in that. And people don't like intimacy if they don't want to show people like the real them. I've been really careful on social media lately to not make my lifestyle or anything that I do over glamorous, because I feel like too many people are doing that. Too many people are like taking like the blessings of God and then turning it around, making a cool caption, filtering it a few times, and then saying like, not even crediting God for that. So I would say specifically in the position of social media, I would just ask yourself, am I being genuine? Is this the real me? Like, if everything else was stripped away, is what I'm posting and telling people about, is this really me? Is this what I believe in? And then the struggle between religion and relationship, like, that starts with you before like you can really before you can ever like share that mindset with other people. It really has to happen for you, and it has to be something that is like a conviction on you that eventually stuff will start like not making sense to you. Like, wait, why do we say that you can only do this, and this to receive Jesus' love, or you can only be a Christian if you fit this quota, or you know what I'm saying? And so I think that you really have to bring it down to like, that's just personal time with Jesus. And because religion says you have to do it in a church congregation, you have to have your like relationship is through like a church congregation. I love the local church, bro, and literally I was there for so long today. But I think relationship is that time when it's just you and God, and you ask him to remove the mask, ask him to break down any walls of insecurity that will not let you move forward, and you truly just like accept the love that he's given and know that he cares about you and your heart more than anything that you can ever do. And I have a tattoo on my hand that's the cross equals love, and that was really like the time that I really started digging into this whole relationship thing, because I realized that there's nothing that I can ever do that is going to make God love me any more or any less than what he already did before I was born. And that is a sobering thought for me. I'm never going to be able to work harder to get more love, and I'm never going to fall shorter that love's going to go away. And yeah, bro, in a nutshell, I hope that I answered that accurately for you. And like, I'm open, bro, for anybody that's listening to this, DM me. Like, my bio on Instagram, bro, is DM me for encouragement. That's like what I'm trying to do. So I will try to answer anything like that. I mean, we get a lot of stuff through there, bro. We get a lot of love in our DMs, but we also get like a lot of hate and this like just people not like agreeing with stuff, and I try to answer all of it. I really do. We get a lot of pushback probably for like the racism shirts the most, but anybody that's listening to this that just has questions or thoughts, or even if you're just ticked off at something that I've said, like, I'll have a conversation.
That's it for another episode of The Oracle. Please check out Jesus Loves You Company. Go buy a few shirts, buy a new hat, buy some stickers. Their brand is really, really dope and has an amazing message. DM the group, tell them the Auricle Podcast or Benamo sent you. And just thanks again for listening to this episode. Please share it, like it, comment on us, give us some suggestions anywhere we can grow. We just hope that the Auricle Podcast is reaching as many ears as possible. Just encourage people to know their story and to share it as well. So please stay tuned. More to come. Stay blessed.